Hey, thanks for tuning into my review for Marvel's Black Panther. The first half of this review is spoiler-free, and the back half is all spoilers, so watch for that spoiler warning if you haven't seen the movie yet. Okay, movie fans? Okay.
Step into the spotlight.
You are a good man
Step into the spotlight.
with a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be a king.
Black Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler and co-written by Coogler and Joe Robert Cole, hits the ground running and never lets up. Bringing Wakanda to the big screen was a huge undertaking that could have fallen flat, but Coogler and company make it look as natural as they do easy. Wakanda slips into the cinematic universe like a hand in a glove, while at the same time feeling wholly standalone. Aside from some callbacks to Civil War and Age of Ultron, Black Panther looks inward to find its identity and develop its characters, and it's all the better for it. The movie centers on the character of T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman. On the eve of his coronation as king, T'Challa is wrestling with himself. The loss of his father in Civil War looms over him, while the sons of the past generation challenge his notions for how a good king should lead. It's really meaty stuff, bolstered by impeccable acting and an equally compelling villain. The supporting cast is wonderful, headlined by Lupita Nyong'o and Denai Guerrera. Letitia Wright's Shuri is a definite standout. Martin Freeman is really good, Andy Serkis is a ton of fun, and Winston Duke's M'Baku proved to be one of my favorite characters in the whole movie. But the other big kahuna in the cast is Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger. And oh my. Killmonger is a dark reflection of T'Challa, a mirror of T'Challa's own struggles and character development. There's strong political undertones to Jordan's performance, and that's partly what makes him such an interesting villain. It's easy to understand why he holds his viewpoint, and that aspect of his character is splitting audiences right down the middle. Some strongly disagree with Killmonger, while others have taken to Twitter using the hashtag #KillmongerWasRight. More than any other Marvel villain to date, he's a guy who is truly threatening. Not in the aliens coming from the sky kind of way, but from a human perspective. Humans are always more compelling than imagined threats. And that's why, ladies and gents, I believe the reign of Loki as the best Marvel villain is finally over. Killmonger is just the better character. A less charismatic one, for sure, but a more grounded one. And a solid rebuke of lame blockbuster villains. Ryan Coogler, of course, is the architect of all this, and he delivers another solid effort. I found Creed to be the best film of 2015, and Black Panther is in the same leagues as that film, where some Marvel films feel too commercialized. This one doesn't. The cinematography is great, the costume design is Oscar caliber, it's got a director's vision driving it, with aspects reminding me of The Lord of the Rings, The Lion King, and last year's Wonder Woman. Rating this film is tough, because it doesn't immediately draw you in like The Last Jedi did. But once you're hooked, you're hooked. At no time are there any plot tangents, and the ending is really, really good. Up there with The Winter Soldier in terms of great Marvel endings. I'm going to give Black Panther a rip-roaring 5 out of 5 stars. And now, it's spoiler time. So I'm learning that most of the internet is really terrible about intentionally spoiling movies. Or they're Chris Stuckman, and they don't leave much to the imagination.
He's someone who wasn't raised in this protected, shielded environment that is Wakanda. He was raised in the United States.
Love you, Stuckman. I saw Black Panther on a Saturday, and before I even stepped in the theater, I had already heard that Ulysses Klaue dies, that Everett Ross was a villain, and a rumor that Eric Killmonger dies. Now, I'm not counting the last one since it was only a rumor, and thankfully Ross was not a villain, but it would have been nice to know nothing about Klaue beforehand. I do want to zoom back on Eric Killmonger for a moment, because he's the imperfect amalgamation of various political ideologies that you don't usually find in a single character, much less the main villain. Folks will come away either loving him or hating him without a lot of middle ground. I strongly disagreed with his vision of arming the world with military weapons to fight injustice, but that's a vision that forces T'Challa to counter and make hard choices. Killmonger is technically correct that Wakanda could be helping the world in a big way if they weren't isolating their technology. And that's why I think the scenes with T'Challa visiting Oakland and the United Nations are what sells the entire movie. T'Challa comes out and tells the world that he believes in the unity of the human race, and that Wakanda wants to be this bridge of goodwill. It's really compelling stuff, and it goes back to just how effective Killmonger is as a villain. Loki, for all his mischief, never spurred that much change in Thor. Meanwhile, here's T'Challa making big, world-impacting decisions, the likes of which we haven't seen in the MCU since the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. Truly, it is aces. I'm also super intrigued by Bucky's return in the end credits scene. The kids running around calling him the White Wolf is reminiscent of another character from the Black Panther comics. And if that's the direction they're taking Bucky, it has far-reaching implications, and almost certainly lines Sam Wilson up for the Captain America mantle. Bucky's a lucky dude, though. He's got Shuri to help rehabilitate him, and there's some fancy suits in her laboratory, should he take on this new persona. Something I wasn't a huge fan of was the ancestral plane, because Phase 3 is kind of being coy about spirituality. It's not as simple as the offhanded references in the Avengers or the Thor films, and the only thing I can guess is if Marvel views spirituality with an all religions true mentality, which that clashes with most belief systems. But perhaps the ancestral plane is intended to be Coogler's response to this line from Civil War.
In my culture, death is not the end. It's more of a stepping off point. You reach out with both hands and bust and segment. They lead you into the green veldt where you can run forever.
Or perhaps the heart-shaped herb has something to do with an Infinity Stone, putting us squarely in Doctor Strange territory. Which, that reminds me of one more thing. One tiny thing, but also a big thing. Where is the last Infinity Stone? Seriously, gang. There's a bazillion theories out there, but the fact that we still haven't seen it pop up, and Infinity War is only a few weeks away, it's got me curious. It's not in Wakanda, the Avengers don't have it, the Asgardians don't have it, the Nova Corps doesn't, the Collector doesn't. Perhaps Captain Marvel has it somewhere out in space? Or maybe Thanos already has it? But not knowing this close to the main event is a huge question mark. So that's my thoughts on Black Panther. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the movie. If you want more Black Panther awesome, check out my review for Black Panther the album at Astonishing Marvels. Link in the description below. And if you liked this video, please hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe to Storybake for more awesome videos. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.